Welcome to the MPC Energy Podcast. We're a weekly top 10 show, and we basically wonder if reality is just one big simulation. Was The Matrix actually a documentary?
Exactly. We explore those glitches, the weird theories, all in a way that's hopefully fun, maybe a bit mind-bending.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you're human, and we hope you are, share, rate, follow NPC Energy. Prove it.
Please do.
Today, for this simulated journey, we're diving into something, well, it's pretty out there.
It really is.
Could the massive computing power behind Bitcoin mining, could that actually be what's running our universe?
And more than that, is the value of crypto just like a tool, something the architects use to get us to do the work?
It's a big one, folks. So yeah, buckle up. Let's try and debug the blockchain of existence.
I like that, debugging existence. Yeah, it's fascinating from the get-go, that energy use with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's always been the big question mark.
Right.
And framing it as maybe powering reality, it definitely makes you look at those server farms differently.
Okay, let's break down the basics first for our simulated journey. Bitcoin mining. It's essentially this global digital race, right?
Yeah, a competition. You've got powerful computers everywhere, all trying to solve these incredibly complex math puzzles nonstop.
Like a huge worldwide Sudoku game,
Yeah.
but way harder and running 24/7.
That's actually a pretty good way to picture it. It's all part of proof of work. Miners are basically guessing, throwing calculations out there, hashing data.
Until someone hits the magic number.
Exactly. The number that validates a whole block of transactions, and whoever finds it first gets to add that block to the blockchain.
The blockchain being that public, unchangeable record of everything.
The official ledger. Yeah.
And the reward for cracking the code. They get brand new Bitcoin, plus the transaction fees people paid. But here's the kicker, the part that raises eyebrows. This whole thing uses a ton of energy.
A staggering amount. We're talking consumption levels similar to entire countries.
Which just makes you ask why. Why pour all that real-world power into what some people just call digital tokens?
That's the core question, isn't it? That seeming mismatch between the massive energy input and the output, just a digital currency. It kind of invites these wilder ideas.
And that's where simulation theory crashes the party in our simulated journey.
Right on cue. The idea that maybe this reality we experience, maybe it isn't the base reality. Maybe it's a super advanced simulation.
Run by who? Future humans. Aliens with godlike computers. Cosmic programmers. It's all very matrixy.
It is. And Nick Bostrom's simulation argument really lays it out academically. He suggests, if civilizations tend to run simulations of their past, and those sims become indistinguishable from reality.
Statistically,
it's more likely we're in one than not, which implies, well, some serious computing power behind the scenes.
And once you start thinking like that, you maybe notice odd things, weird coincidences, deja vu, times when things feel off.
Little reality stutters.
Yeah. Or what we call NPC energy on the show, people acting like they're on a script, saying the same thing over and over. Could those be bugs?
Yeah.
Glitches, software updates.
These little anecdotal oddities, they're easy to dismiss, sure, but they feed into that speculative side of simulation theory. If we're in a sim, what's running it?
Which loops us right back.
Exactly. Back to Bitcoin mining. All that energy, all that computation, could that be the engine?
So proof of work isn't just about securing Bitcoin. It's securing reality itself, like rendering the next frame, calculating physics.
That's the theory in a nutshell. A wild one, yeah. But if reality is a massive computation, then maybe a decentralized, energy-hungry network like Bitcoin's. Maybe it fits the bill, or part of it.
Okay, so if mining is powering our simulated journey, what's in it for the miners? Why all the expensive gear and electricity bills?
Well, that's the elegant part of Bitcoin's design, isn't it? The built-in incentive. Miners get paid. New Bitcoin. Transaction fees. It's a clear economic motive.
Like grinding in a video game for gold or loot.
Precisely. In this theory, the miners are grinding all right, but they're unknowingly grinding to keep reality itself running.
So the architects, whoever they are, basically set up this crypto economy to trick us.
Yep.
Well, not trick, but incentivize us into providing the computing power they need.
It's like cosmic gamification, yeah. The hunt for crypto gold accidentally fuels the simulation engine. And on this, we actually have some interesting accounts from anonymous sources.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear them.
Our first one calls himself Data Center Dave. Says he worked security at a big crypto mining place.
What did Dave see or hear?
He described it as just overwhelming. A constant, deafening roar from all the machines. And the heat, incredible heat.
Standard for a data center, maybe.
To a point, but Dave mentioned this weird vibration. He said you could almost feel it in the air, especially late at night. A deep humming sound.
Mm.
And he got suspicious about where all the waste heat was going, it seemed. Directed, somehow. Not just vented. He said the scale of it all just felt bigger than digital money. Like it was, and this is his phrase, holding something up.
Wow, holding something up. That's
Yeah.
evocative, heavy. It's just one guy's feeling, but still adds a layer.
It does. Of course, the major hurdle here, the big counter-argument, is scale. Simulating our entire universe, down to every particle, the computing power needed would be astronomical, way beyond the current Bitcoin network.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious problem. You'd need quantum computers the size of planets or tech we can't even dream of.
True, but the theory has potential answers. One is optimization, like video games, right? They don't render detail you're not looking at.
So if nobody's observing that distant galaxy, the simulation kind of fudges the details, only renders the basics.
Possibly. Or maybe reality isn't rendered down to the quantum level unless it's being measured or interacted with directly. The other idea is that Bitcoin mining isn't the whole engine.
Just a piece of it.
Maybe a crucial decentralized piece. The specific type of computation involved in proof of work, massively parallel, distributed consensus. Maybe that's uniquely suited for keeping a shared reality stable.
Ah, so it's not just how much power, but what kind of work is being done.
Exactly. Could it be that every time a block is solved, it's not just validating transactions, it's validating a tiny slice of space-time, locking it in?
Whoa, okay. Each block confirmation is like another frame of reality getting rendered and confirmed by the network.
That's the implication. A constant, decentralized effort to maintain reality's coherence.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to the money side again for our simulated journey. We talked about minor rewards, but what about Bitcoin's price itself? You know, the crazy ups and downs. How does that fit the theory?
Right, the volatility. This is where it gets even more speculative, maybe a bit conspiratorial.
Bring it on.
The idea is, what if that value isn't purely market forces? What if the architects are nudging it, manipulating it?
Like game developers adjusting the price of potions in an online game.
Pretty much. If the simulation needs a power boost, maybe for a complex event, maybe simulating more people, they could subtly inflate Bitcoin's price.
Making mining more profitable so more people jump in, adding more computing power.
Exactly. And the flip side, a market crash could be them, I don't know, conserving energy, optimizing server load when things are computationally quiet.
So a bull run is the architects hitting the turbo boost, and a crash is them throttling back. That's a wild way to look at crypto charts.
It certainly reframes OJDL and buying the dip, doesn't it? And adding to this layer, we have another anonymous source's testimony. This person goes by Quantum Quinn, calls themselves a reality researcher.
Reality researcher. Okay, what were they researching?
Quinn described tracking blockchain metrics hash rate, which is basically the total mining power, transaction volumes, big wallet movements, stuff like that.
Standard blockchain analysis.
Yes, but then they cross-referenced it. They compared that data to reports of anomalies, glitches, Mandela effects.
Like the Berenstain Bears thing, where everyone remembers it spelled differently.
Exactly like that. Mass misremembrances. And Quinn claimed to find correlations.
Between what and what?
Between spikes in mining difficulty or network load on the Bitcoin blockchain and waves of these reported reality glitches or memory issues.
Seriously. So when the Bitcoin network is working really hard, reality gets a bit buggy.
That's the suggestion. Like the intense computation is straining the simulation's rendering engine, causing little errors. Quinn even floated the idea the blockchain might be like a reality log file.
A log file for reality.
Wow.
Wow. And crypto booms and busts are literally stressing the system.
According to Quinn's research, there seems to be a link. It connects back to that idea of proof of work. People call it useless computation, right? Just guessing numbers.
Yeah, that's a common criticism.
But from the architect's view, maybe that guessing, that constant reaching of consensus across millions of machines, maybe that's essential. Maybe it's what stops the simulation from falling apart, from decohering.
So countless processors constantly agreeing on the state of reality to keep it stable. Okay, my head hurts a little.
It's definitely a lot to process. We actually tried to map out the parallels visually, comparing Bitcoin mining features to what a simulated reality might need.
Let's run through that.
Okay, core process. Bitcoin uses proof-of-work puzzle solving. The simulation needs reality rendering, physics calculation, consensus, resource needs. Bitcoin uses massive electricity, specialized hardware. The sim needs immense computational power, maybe quantum level.
Makes sense. Output.
Mining outputs verified blocks, new Bitcoin. The simulation outputs stable reality frames, events unfolding, incentive. Mining has block rewards, fees. The simulation might use manipulated crypto value to get resources allocated.
Okay. Network.
Bitcoin's is decentralized, global. The simulation might need a distributed computing substrate like that. Waste product. Mining generates lots of heat. The simulation's intense computation probably would too, right?
Seems logical. And finally, anomalies.
Bitcoin has network forks, 51% attacks, high volatility. Reality has glitches, Mandela effects, maybe physics anomalies.
Even if the scale is wildly different, the conceptual mapping, it is kind of spooky, isn't it?
It really is. The parallels are there, even if you have to squint a bit. It's a framework that connects things you wouldn't normally connect.
Now, we know this isn't the only weird theory about crypto or reality out there. Aliens, CIA, reptilians, you name it. How does this Bitcoin simulation idea stack up?
I think what makes this one stand out, maybe feel a bit different, is how it leans on computer science and physics concepts. Computational limits, energy use, virtual worlds, even if it takes huge leaps.
It feels grounded in tech, even if the premise is sci-fi.
Exactly. It gives it this, I don't know, this geeky plausibility that some other theories lack. It blurs that line between the digital world we're building and the real world we live in.
Speaking of blurred lines, we have one last anonymous source's story for this simulated journey. Glitchy Gary.
Ah, yes, Glitchy Gary. His experience happened up in Washington state near Wenatchee, known for huge hydroelectric dams.
And therefore, cheap power for crypto mining.
Bingo. Gary says he took a wrong turn, ended up near some unmarked building, humming really loudly. Immediately, his GPS went haywire, radio turned to static.
Okay, weird interference near a power-hungry building. Plausible.
But then it got stranger. He swears he passed the exact same, very distinctively shaped tree 3 times in a row. Noticed the same broken branch, everything.
Like loop.
That's what he thought. And when he checked his dash cam later, there was a 90-second chunk of footage that just repeated 3 times, with a clear jump in the timestamp after the loops.
Whoa. Okay, that's more than just GPS static.
Yeah.
A recorded time loop.
His feeling was the whole area felt computationally overloaded. Like he hit a spot where reality itself was stuttering because of the intense processing nearby, a localized glitch.
Like a frame drop in a video game, but
Yeah.
in reality, near a suspected mining hub. That is unsettling.
It implies, if you follow the theory, that maybe the simulation's integrity isn't uniform. Maybe it's weaker or glitchier near these intense computational nodes.
So where does this rabbit hole leave us after this simulated journey? I mean, if any of this is even remotely true,
Yeah.
are we just biological processors powering the matrix with our greed for Bitcoin? What about free will?
Those are the huge questions, aren't they? If reality is computed, what does real even mean? Is value just arbitrary code? It's existentially heavy stuff.
Definitely.
But there's maybe another way to look at it. If you understand the system, even a little, maybe you can find the exploits, the cheat codes, like Neo, right?
Finding the cheat codes to reality.
Yeah.
I like that. So maybe the glitches aren't just bugs, they're clues, hints.
Perhaps. Maybe just being open to the possibility that reality is this weird computed thing. Maybe that helps us appreciate the strangeness, the coincidences, the NPC moments in a new way. Adds mystery back into the mundane.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this mind bender of a simulated journey up. We looked at Bitcoin mining, super energy hungry, computationally intense.
We looked at simulation theory, the idea our reality is coded.
And we explored the wild connection. Is mining powering the sim? Is crypto value the incentive from the architects?
We heard those anonymous sources stories, weird vibes near data centers, potential links between crypto craziness and reality glitches.
And we mapped the concepts, how mining mechanics could mirror simulation operations. Conceptually, at least.
Yeah, it's crucial to state again that this is highly speculative. We can't prove it, not even close.
Right. It's a thought experiment, a wild one, reflecting maybe our anxieties about tech and reality today.
But it definitely makes you think, doesn't it? It encourages you, the listener maybe, to look at things differently. That server hum, that crypto chart spike, those weird repetitive moments.
Or they be connected in ways we don't normally imagine?
Maybe. So keep your eyes peeled for those glitches. Question the everyday stuff.
Is it just a coincidence? Or a little message from the simulation's backend?
And perhaps be a little cautious about automatically clicking yes on the next reality update.
Stay vigilant, look for the patterns.
And embrace the weirdness.
This has been NPC Energy. Welcome to the glitch, baby.